Let's turn over to Accra now, where voting continues in Ghana's general election, and police say 4 individuals have been detained after one person was fatally shot and another injured. The incident occurred at a voting booth in the northern town of Nyakpala, where police claim an opposition candidate running for local MP sought to submit a complaint but was blocked by governing party supporters. Soldiers have subsequently been dispatched in armored vehicles to maintain order. Elsewhere, election day was quiet, with several Ghanaians queuing before dawn to ensure they voted. A debt problem and rising living costs have made the economy a top priority for many people in Ghana. Well, let's now cross live to Accra, Ghana. Our chief correspondent, Tokunbo Oyetunji, is waiting now. Thank you, Tokunbo, for your time. It's good to see you. Well, today marks a significant day for Ghana as the polls have officially closed. We are aware about that. But bring us up to speed on the assessment and the overall outcome of the exercise.
Well, thank you very much for joining us here in Accra. It's been such a big day for the people of Ghana all across. I mean, about 8 million eligible voters now actually participate in the exercise. I mean, cast their vote for the preferred 12 presidential candidates, like I mentioned earlier in one of my reports. There are this office, I mean the highest office in the land, but there are 12 candidates, about 4 independent candidates, I mean running on independent platform, not affiliated to any of the political parties. But it's worth noting that the 2 frontline contenders are the incumbent vice president, Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, who has been the vice for the outgoing president, John Nana Akufo-Addo of the National Patriotic Party, and his rival is the man who has lost to his party on 2 different occasions in 2016 and 2020. So that's talking about Mr. John Mahama, who is equally a former president of the Republic of Ghana. So if you're looking at how close and tight the contest is, I mean, what some are saying what the NPP did for the NDC in 2016, the NDC is very ready now to do the same thing. That's chase the NPP out of power. But we can't say that yet. We don't know where the pendulum will swing. What we can tell you is that it's a tight contest between these 2 parties. That's not to say, like I said earlier, there are no other candidates who are contesting, but at least the front line candidates that the front runners in this election are those 2 that I've just mentioned to you. And like you rightly mentioned, polls closed a few hours ago. I mean, it opened at about 7 a.m. Across Ghana, and it closed at 5 p.m. with a certain announcement at the polling units and all that. So the next place where the action is now is the regional collation centers, from where more figures will be put together before they are now transmitted eventually to Accra, where we are, where the final results will be announced by the Electoral Commission. Let's equally tell you that it's not only the president of Ghana, the next president of Ghana, that is being elected in this election today. The 275 parliamentarians that will form the 9th parliament of the Republic of Ghana are equally being elected across the 16 regions that make up this country. So that's where we are from as it is. Voting is over, voting has closed. Collation of results is now taking place across the regions, and we expect that the results will start trickling in from later this night and in the early hours of tomorrow, and we'll see how it all goes.
All right.
I'm sure that we're on ground here to keep you posted on developments, and as the results are coming in, we'll let you know what exactly the updates are.
All right. Let's talk further. With over 18 million registered voters participating in this election, how important is it for young voters to engage in the electoral process, especially considering they make up a significant portion of the electorate?
Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, our interactions with people on the streets across Accra, where we monitor the election today, majority of will see how enthusiastic the young people of Ghana actually are in participating in this exercise. What majority of them, I mean, something that is common to all of them is the term change. They are actually, majority of them are tired and disillusioned about what's going on in the system, complaining about lack of good job, unemployment or underemployment. I mean, that is a very key factor, shaping this election, the state of the economy. Of course, you know that in 2022 there was a nationwide protest against the incumbent president Nana Akufo-Addo over cost of living crisis, inflation rising to as high as over 50%. Though, I mean, in the last year, this year, I think it has come down. It's around 23% or so. So, since, in fact, majority of those who were on the street protesting then were actually asking for the president to actually resign. So the issue of the way this government has managed the economy and the way it has affected, employment, cost of living, and the way the youth live. In fact, like one thing that that I got to know from the youth, some of the youth that I spoke to earlier today, is that they are equally, the Japa syndrome that you and I know in Nigeria is equally happening in Ghana. The majority of eligible, qualified young Ghanaians are actually leaving the country in droves. Somebody told me, just go to the airport. That's where you see how much the young people who are qualified here are leaving because they feel their aspirations are not being met down here. So they want a change that will actually mean a secure future for them, that will make life better for them. So that is why majority of them said this time around they want to express themselves, with their with their ballots, and that's why they trooped out very in their numbers today to actually participate in this exercise. In fact, if in some of the polling units, some of them actually were out as early as 5 a.m., some 2 a.m. in some areas outside Accra. So they are actually looking forward to change according to them. And another thing that is common, or my interaction with them, is, or they're expressing themselves.
Yes. Just let me button here, Tokunbo. I'm going to let you go in a moment, but I know, because both presidential candidates, the leading two candidates, talk about John Mahama and Mahamudu Bawumia. They have cast their vote earlier, but what do you think their presence at the polls signifies for the respective parties and supporters? I know you did talk about how much of the young people in Ghana want a change. Of course, they will have their say. The power lies with the people, and that will determine the next president of Ghana. But well, I just think we need to leave it there. Thank you so much, correspondent there, live for us from Accra, Ghana there. Thank you. Now keep your eyes to the ground, of course, and keep us updated later on.